Here I am, standing in my backyard on a beautiful sunny day. The sun is shining warmly on my face, and I can hear birds singing cheerfully in the trees around me. The air feels fresh, and there's a gentle breeze rustling the leaves. It's the perfect setting for a little science experiment, and maybe a bit of fun. My friend stands nearby, holding a bright blue bucket filled to the brim with cold water. The water glistens in the sunlight, and I can see little ripples on the surface as my friend gets ready. There's a playful look in their eyes, and I know something interesting is about to happen. Suddenly, my friend starts swinging the bucket in a big full circle, up, over their head, and then completely upside down, right above where I'm standing. The bucket moves faster and faster, spinning in a perfect arc. For a moment, it's directly above me, and I can't help but hold my breath. My heart races with excitement and a little bit of fear. I know the science behind this, but it's still nerve-wracking to stand underneath a bucket full of water, trusting that not a single drop will fall on me. I remind myself that if everything goes as planned, I'll stay completely dry. The bucket whooshes overhead again and again, spinning faster each time. Amazingly, the water stays perfectly inside, as if held by some invisible force. It's almost hypnotic to watch. The water doesn't spill, no matter how fast the bucket moves or how upside down it gets. It might look like magic, but it's actually pure science at work. The same force that keeps the water in the bucket is what keeps planets orbiting the sun and makes roller coasters so thrilling. It's called centripetal force, and it's one of the amazing rules that govern how our universe works. By standing under this spinning bucket, I'm not just testing my nerves, I'm putting my faith in the incredible laws of physics. It's a reminder that science isn't just something we learn in school. It's happening all around us, every single day, in ways that are both surprising and wonderful. So, what's the secret behind this classic science trick? Why doesn't the water just fall out when you turn the bucket upside down? At first glance, it might seem like magic, but there's actually a fascinating explanation rooted in physics. How can a bucket of water go completely upside down, swinging high above your head, and yet not a single drop spills out? It almost defies common sense. But there's a logical reason for this surprising result. The answer isn't magic. It's motion. More specifically, it's all about circular motion, a type of movement that creates a special force. When you swing the bucket in a circle, you're actually creating what's called centripetal force, which acts to keep the water pressed against the bottom of the bucket. If you just flip the bucket over without swinging it, gravity takes over and the water falls straight down, soaking everything in its path. That's why the trick only works when you move the bucket in a fast, smooth circle. But when you swing the bucket in a wide, continuous circle, the water inside wants to keep moving in a straight line due to inertia, while the bucket itself is constantly pulling it inward. This combination of forces keeps the water pressed firmly against the bottom, even when the bucket is upside down. This inward pull, or centripetal force, is what keeps the water from falling out. As long as you swing the bucket fast enough, the force is strong enough to counteract gravity, holding the water in place. You've probably felt a similar force yourself. Think about riding in a car that takes a sharp turn. You feel pushed to the side of the car. That's the same principle at work. Your body wants to keep moving straight, but the car is turning, so you feel a force pushing you outward. The water in the bucket isn't floating or defying gravity. Instead, it's being held in place by the physics of circular motion, a force that's invisible but incredibly powerful. Suddenly, what seemed like a simple party trick becomes a fascinating window into the invisible forces that shape our everyday world. It's a reminder that science is everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. The invisible hero here is called centripetal force, meaning center-seeking. It's any force that keeps something moving in a circle, always pulling toward the center. In our experiment, your arm provides this force, pulling the bucket inward as it swings. The bucket pushes the water toward the center, keeping it from falling. You feel centripetal force on a merry-go-round, or when gravity keeps the moon orbiting Earth. It's everywhere. In playgrounds, in space, and right here in our spinning bucket. Understanding centripetal force helps explain everything from toys to the dance of the planets. Now, let's talk about inertia, the tendency of things to keep doing what they're doing. Inertia is a fundamental concept in physics, and it explains why objects resist changes to their motion. If something is at rest, it wants to stay at rest. If it's moving, it wants to keep moving in the same direction and at the same speed, unless something else acts on it. This principle is at play in many everyday situations, But it's especially easy to see with a simple experiment involving a bucket of water. When you swing the bucket, the water inside doesn't want to follow the curve. Instead, it wants to move straight ahead in a straight line due to inertia. But the bucket, held tightly in your hand, keeps redirecting the water's path, forcing it to move in a circle along with the bucket. This constant redirection is what keeps the water inside, even when the bucket is upside down at the top of the swing. At the very top of the loop, something interesting happens. The bucket pushes the water up and inward, creating a force that's actually stronger than gravity pulling the water down, if you're swinging the bucket fast enough. This upward push is what keeps the water pressed against the bottom of the bucket instead of falling out. The faster you swing, the stronger this force becomes, and the more securely the water stays put. You can think of the water like a race car speeding around a curved track. Just as the car is pressed against the track by the force of the turn, the water is pressed against the bottom of the bucket by the force of inertia. Both are being pushed toward the outside of the curve, but the container, the track for the car, the bucket for the water, keeps them moving in a circle. But what happens if you swing the bucket too slowly? In that case, gravity takes over. The bucket isn't pushing the water up hard enough to counteract gravity's pull, so the water spills out, and you get soaked. This is why it's so important to swing the bucket quickly if you want to keep the water inside. The magic of this experiment only works when you spin the bucket fast enough for inertia to press the water into the bucket, more than gravity pulls it down. That's why speed matters. It's not magic at all, it's physics in action, showing how inertia and force can work together to create surprising results. This isn't just a cool trick, it's an invitation to be curious and see science everywhere. Centripetal force is at work in a salad spinner, a swing set, and even the solar system. Try the experiment yourself. Just use a small bucket and don't stand underneath at first. Feel how your arm pulls to keep the bucket moving. You're providing the centripetal force. Science is about asking questions and exploring the mysteries around us. Every question is the start of a new adventure. The thrill of discovery can begin with a simple bucket of water and a willingness to explore. Stay curious and let science surprise you.